Corporal Eric Hirschberg, Lance Corporal Philip Johnson, Private Brian Miller. The sacrifices these four warriors made for us is something that we all will never be able to repay to them or their families. Early on in the deployment, Company K was given a very difficult task as the battalion's main effort during Operation Rubicon to clear and hold a known insurgent stronghold, as well as to continue to control this area following the operation. This being an area that was previously uncontrolled by coalition forces, the insurgent forces were thoroughly entrenched and integrated with the local populace. Over a relatively short period of time, the actions of the company, and more specifically the actions of these four warfighters and two brave warriors from Weapons Company, who we honor today, transformed the area from a hotbed of enemy activity and attacks to a relatively benign area to operate and safe place for the Iraqi people to live. Just following the conclusion of Operation Rubicon, and while conducting a mounted security patrol as part of the company's headquarters platoon, Lance Corporal Johnson and Private Miller were attacked by an improvised explosive device. Although they were only in the company for a very short time prior to this attack, they both made an immediate and lasting impact on the company, and their spirit will live on and keep the company forever. Their willingness to take on any task the battalion asked of them, from operating as scout snipers or operating as part of a company unit, they both demonstrated their abilities to adapt quickly, work unselfishly, and focus on the goals of the overall mission success. As a member of 2nd Platoon, Lance Corporal Eric Hirschberg was an intricate part of the squad's patrol base that controlled the main route into and out of the company's battle space. During these operations, and while providing security for his fellow Marines, while they were conducting a resupply, Eric was attacked by enemy sniper fire. His fun-loving spirit and willingness to do anything for his fellow Marines and sailors was evident in everything he did, day in and day out. He was a man that always left a smile on the faces of those around him, even in the most adverse of conditions. Serving as the company police sergeant, Sergeant Luke Zimmerman helped to ensure that the combat power and fighting readiness of the company was maintained at all times. During the conduct of combat resupply for the company, and while always leading from the front and putting others' safety before his own, Luke took the lead while conducting a dismounted sweep of the area for mines and IEDs that may threaten the patrol. It was at this point that he was attacked by an IED. His unassuming and energetic leadership style was always a source of comfort and strength for the Marines in his charge. His ability to always make the best of any situation and do it with a smile will always be remembered by us all. These selfless and brave heroes will live forever in the hearts and thoughts of those that served with them and are immortalized in the Howell halls of the Basio Bastards. I thank them and their families for their service to our corps and country. God bless Semper Fi.
Good afternoon. My name is Corporal Mayo, 3-2 Scout Sniper Platoon. I'll be reading in honor of Ryan Miller and Philip Johnson. It has been said that only the dead have seen the end of war, and only those left behind to mourn know its true cost. We standing here today are a small and saddened group within our society, for we truly know the human cost of war. We do not come here today, though, to dwell on the past or things that cannot be undone, but rather to celebrate the lives of and honor a group of brave men. Writing this speech was quite possibly the hardest task I've had to perform in my 3 years in the Marine Corps. To attempt to sum up the lives of two great men in a few short sentences seemed an almost impossible task. I found myself continually starting over. And one of the words that I spoke about Ryan and Philip to be worthy of the men that I was speaking about. It seemed that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't put their character or their personality into words. It then dawned on me whether I had 5 minutes or an eternity to talk about them. No words or actions could ever truly describe Ryan or Philip. I could talk all day about Ryan's attitude toward life. Not one time in the years that I knew him was he ever bitter or angry. No matter how bad a hand he was dealt, he took it all in stride and lived as an example to everyone around him. And Philip, I doubt I could ever convey to anyone who hadn't met him his infectiously bright shining optimism and the effect it had on all those who knew him. There simply aren't enough good things that can be said about Ryan Miller and Philip Johnson. Guess you just had to know them. Today, we have all gathered in this place, the families, loved ones, and brothers of the fallen, in order that we may honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. There is much grief here today, and I want everyone to know that the last thing in the world Ryan, Philip, and the other men honored here would have wished for you is the pain and anguish so many are feeling right now. The most fitting tribute we can give to these men is to do what they would have wanted us to do. Never to forget the lives that once were, holding them always in our memories, but to put aside the sadness and the sorrow, and to move on with our lives, living after the example that men like Ryan and Philip have set before us. And to Ryan and Philip, from everyone who knew and loved them, we're going to miss you guys.
L.Cpl, Plumshot, Kilo Company, 2nd Platoon.